This is an image I want you to picture. Me, sitting at my computer at like freaking 9 p.m. or really 9:30 p.m. just eating some Burger King, you know, and I heard that there's going to be a Bethesda conference at E3. And you know me, you know how I like my Bethesda. In fact, I'm probably putting this audio over some gameplay footage of me playing a Bethesda game. It's probably going to be one of my old Skyrim Let's Plays, so I'll leave a link in the description if you want to watch 2014 era... No, it's not even 2014, it's 2015 era Radix, who was going by Primus at that time. If you want to go to 2015 era, Primus era Skyrim, there'll be a link in the description. See, that's the trick. When you reuse like 3-year-old videos, nobody knows. So that's the trick. So I have on one window, I didn't care for just going to wherever the live stream was for the Bethesda stream itself. I just saw in my subscription feed one dude I'm subscribed to was going to do his live reaction to the stream. So like, I'll just open that up in one window, I'll listen to a podcast on the other window, and I'll just mute the dude and wait until about 9:30. Then I'll mute the podcast and then unmute the dude, and I'd watch the Bethesda E3 conference with him. And then, so I'm coughing a lot. I don't know why. But, so eventually it's about 9:30. I mute, no, I don't even mute, I glance at the Discord server, because, you know, just want to see if anyone's doing anything in there. And all of a sudden I see that there's this E3 watching party with Dreadcore and Ultrox just sitting in it. And I'm like, oh god, I'd much rather be sitting in there with them than just eating my Burger King alone, listening to this random dude I'm somehow subscribed to talk about it. And I'm like, oh, so, and like the thing's supposed to be starting like now, so I do a scramble. I push my Burger King to the side, put my mic up on the desk, and if you see my mic on my desk, the mic takes up a lot of space. So I don't know how I did it so fast. Plugged in the thing to the mic, plugged in the USB into the laptop, tried to see if Discord picked up my mic being plugged in, because sometimes it doesn't do that. Had to freaking mute the podcast, just exit out of the window with the other dude talking about the conference, just sort of rushed into the E3 watching party with Dreadcore and Ultrox, and I'm like, okay, can someone send me a link? And like, there's the countdown. Like, it's like when I just barely make it to class. So I'm like, oh god, I'm here. But so I saw the Bethesda E3 conference, and you know, wow, that was awkward. I don't really care for anything Bethesda makes besides Skyrim, Elder Scrolls and Fallout. I have a passing interest in Wolfenstein, but that's about it. The historian in me makes me shun Wolfenstein because, you know, Wolfenstein gets a little ridiculous. Like, the trailer for the upcoming Wolfenstein game is like the Resistance in the 1980s. Like, the French Resistance was a minimal size at best during World War II, and they certainly wouldn't be around and kicking it in the 80s. So, like, you know, that, but, you know, also robot dogs and stuff. So, you know, Wolfenstein's a little... I want to analyze Wolfenstein as a historian, but then, you know, you just can't. Andrew WK came out with for his little concert for Rage, and if you know anything about Andrew WK, it's that he lives life as a freaking party. He refers to everything as a party, and he just goes on stage and he's just whamming it, and then they just do some camera pans to the freaking audience, and they're just sort of sitting there awkwardly like, yeah. Okay, we're all here for Fallout, but whatever. And the announcers were so awkward. I was like, oh man, this is a train wreck. And then Todd Howard walks in, and that's when you know, oh man, things are getting real. And Todd Howard was very Todd Howard, you know, called people degenerates. Todd Howard was the only person on that stage that knew how to talk on a stage. Jesus Christ. It's hard to dislike Todd Howard, you know? But, we'll talk a little bit about my thoughts on the games he announced there, because, you know, I don't care anything about, you know, freaking Rage, or, frankly, I don't care about Elder Scrolls Online, either. But we can talk about Blades, Fallout 76. That'll make the bulk of this little discussion. And we can talk about, a little bit about Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. So Blades, Todd Howard did it. He made a full-on Elder Scrolls game for the phone. Because, that wasn't a meme already. Oh, can't wait for Skyrim on the iPhone. Well, here you go. It's not Skyrim, but whatever. I'm interested in seeing when Blades takes place and where exactly it takes place. I got a Skyrim feel from some of the scenes they showed on the game. They also got a Cyrodiilish feel. And if it's about the Blades, it has to be set freaking before the Great War. Or set in some unknown point after Skyrim in which the Blades have been recreated. I don't know, but I think my bets are on pretty Great War stuff. So that will be an interesting era to explore. I think there's a lot. I'm interested in the world building and the lore that will come out of Blades. Not so interested in playing Blades myself, seeing as I hardly ever play mobile games. Sometimes I open up Pokemon Go, But yeah, so freaking Fallout 76. Check out my Fallout 76 video on the initial announcement, link in the description, to get when they drop the first trailer, so you can see my, feels regarding that. Todd Howard walks up into the Xbox conference, even though he doesn't belong there. He's like, yo, you guys want a Fallout 76 trailer? And then just drops a new Fallout 76 trailer that shows more gameplay and stuff like that. And I saw that, I'm like, this actually looks like a normal Fallout game. This doesn't look half bad. So I tweeted out, you know what, I'm pretty excited for this. I was under the impression that maybe there's a chance that this is a normal Fallout game. Conference happens, hey, it's gonna be multiplayer, we're gonna give players nukes. I'm like, oh. Okay. And my problem with multiplayer, the thing is, Fallout is a single-player game. The Bethesda games are single-player games, and I think that's how they best operate. Maybe I can warm up to the idea of a drop in and out co-op, but it's a single-player game. I don't like. I try to stay away from multiplayer games that are at least super competitive, like Fortnite. Because I don't do well, because once you have a multiplayer game, it doesn't take long for people to start getting competitive and start bringing in pro strats and keeping up to date. And I just want to relax at home after I'm done with my classes and just do some fun stuff. I don't even play games that often. When I play a game, most of the time it's for a video. But when I do play a game, it's just to chill. I don't want some 7-year-old ha, you didn't watch the latest video from Fortnite Master 78 talking about how you need to do this with a shopping cart. And I'm like, dude, I just want to chill. I just want to immerse myself in the experience that I'm this dude just on this island trying to fend for myself against a hostile population. I don't want some freaking magical juju going on here. I don't want anyone coming up with a freaking infinity gauntlet, But so that's what really draws me to Bethesda games. I did a podcast with Twisted Ambition about Bethesda games, and one thing I wanted to talk about that I didn't really get around to talking about was how I really like the immersion and roleplay aspect of Bethesda games. And it's hard to be immersed or roleplay in a multiplayer game, and I know technically one of the most popular forms of role-playing games are MMOs, but MMOs, I don't really like MMOs. I don't know if the reason I don't like MMOs that much is because a majority of my time playing MMOs has been spent playing with Dreadcore, and we have very different playing styles. I want to just walk around, soak up the scenery, don't challenge myself too much until I feel I'm ready. I don't like grinding. I have to listen to every bit of dialogue I hear from an NPC. Dreadcore blitzes through dialogue, says, oh, what's on my quest? I have to murder 17 of these rabbits. Okay, let's go do it, buddy. And I'm like, why? I need to know why. Is this in line with my character's motivations? Stuff like that. And it's hard to actually do that in an MMO, but with Skyrim and Fallout, no problem. With a multiplayer game, it's hard to do that. And, it's PvP, so it's gonna be like freaking Rust or whatever, where it's gonna devolve into a shoot-on-sight situation. No matter how much they try to say, oh, you could also work together. You can work together if you have friends, and you plan out a session. You're not gonna just find a dude. 4 years after the game's been released, it's shoot-on-sight, man. Also, nuclear missiles. I gotta admit, I do like games where you can fire nuclear missiles, but I don't know how I feel about it in a Fallout style game. No, I'm not. I've seen some people say it's unrealistic for freaking nuclear missiles to be like. You know how many you've nuked places all the time in Fallout games. You know, what is it, Metaton and I don't know. I know you nuke a few places in all across the Fallout games. I don't think that's sort of out of the lore. Let's see. But I just have a problem with, like, you know, base buildings here. It looks exactly like the settlement system, except anywhere you can build anywhere, and I'm actually okay with that. But I'm not okay with, you know, going around the map collecting resources, like fighting monsters just to get some glue to make a freaking base or whatever. And I finally have my thing set up. Oh, but dude got a nuke. Boom, there goes all that. It's like, let's program a way for people to grief. It's like the TNT in Minecraft. How often do you see TNT used for any use besides griefing, you know? Let's see. Anything else to say in West Virginia? And you know if you follow me on Twitter, you know my opinions about West Virginia. You know what? I'm okay with nuking the crap out of West Virginia. Let's do that. The monsters, the different spawns, or what's the word in Bethesda games? Mobs? It's not mobs, but the monster creatures look cool. I know there were super mutants in the trailer, I believe. Which, does that make sense? I don't know. I don't care, frankly. If they find a way to make it work, okay. Just as long as I'm having fun, I guess. But yeah, the creatures look pretty cool. I just don't know how I feel about the multiplayer aspect. And they say it's not going to be hundreds of people, it's going to be dozens. So, you know, it's going to be a small... If it's 4 times the size of Fallout 4, and only, like, maybe at the most 40 people can come in, that's not a lot going on. You know, besides, like, say if they have an equivalent of Diamond City where everyone goes to, that's where you're going to run into people. But besides that, just out exploring, you might not run into people that much. I'm very curious to see how it all pan out. I'm skeptical. I'm not entirely on board, but I'm not entirely off board, you know? Is off board a word? Is that how you phrase that? I don't know. And then beyond Fallout 76, we have Starfield is finally confirmed. And Elder Scrolls 6, and I am pumped for Elder Scrolls 6, except both of these, I'm pumped for Starfield too. But they didn't give a release date for either of those games. These will be released. I can't wait to play these when I'm 40, you know? But, you know, I'm pumped for that. I'm very curious as to where Elder Scrolls 6 will be set. I have a hunch that Starfield will be set in space. But, you know, I guess we'll have to wait for the speculating channels to talk about that. Oh, another problem I have with Fallout 76. If it's going to be online, you can't really do mods now, can you? Now, I know, like, Minecraft has mods, but, you know, everyone in the game, everyone in the server has to have the same mods and have them all installed correctly. But I like, you know, how crazy you can get with the mods in Skyrim. With, you know, like, survival mods, base building mods, mods to have open war everywhere. All these different sort of mods to just sort of cater to your playstyle. And that's what I really loved about Elder Scrolls games and Fallout games. Mostly Skyrim's. I think Skyrim's like the most modded game out there for the Bethesda stuff. And that's what I liked about Bethesda open world games, the customizability of it. And I don't see that coming in the same level as Fallout 76. I don't see that level of customization coming to Fallout 76. So that's what I'm concerned about. But those are my thoughts on the Bethesda E3 conference. A little bit of optimism here, a little bit of skepticism here, a little bit of nihilism here. We're all gonna die anyway. Thank you guys for listening, and see you around. Oh, let me know what you thought about the conference in the comments below.